Ladies and gentlemen, bonjour and welcome at La Table Ronde, TVC 22 political show. As you all know, we are currently in the middle of the municipal election campaign, and today we have the opportunity of interviewing one of the candidates. As a matter of fact, he is the current councillor for Ward 7 and running for re-election. I have the pleasure of presenting you, Monsieur Michel Levert. Bonjour, Michel.
Bonjour.
How are you doing today?
Very good, very good.
Good. So, a lot of people in the ward probably know you by name, but not really who is Michel Levert. So I'd like to take this opportunity and ask you to present yourself so that they understand the man, the person, what you've done, you know, I think you're a grandparent, you know, stuff like that. So they really get to know the individual and not just a name they see.
Yes, well, I think most of the people know me at first from my previous business, which was Chez Filias. We had the business for 17 years. I was between Hammond and Bourget, so a lot of people know us from there. And of course, know my face around with Rona. I've been with Rona in Rockland since they've opened. It's actually starting our 4th year. It's pretty amazing. And also, I've been in Hammond for 36 years now. Been involved with the Optimist Club, Knights of Columbus. I sing in the choir. Been around, and always enjoy it. Yes, I do have a great family. I have a daughter, a son, grandchildren, of course, 2 boys, and just enjoying myself right now with the boys. It's just great. I just wish everybody had the opportunity of being a grandparent. It's just great. It's just our task is easy compared to raising them.
This is the fun part.
Yes, yes.
Not the revenge part, the fun part.
Yeah. No revenge, no revenge. No.
I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
What is it that what makes you want to keep continuing to be the councillor for Ward 7?
Well, I think 4 years is, it went by so fast, and we've got so much more to do. I've just, just being comfortable right now with all the dossiers or
the
files that are on the table. Just starting to be comfortable with the committees I'm on and everything. I'd just like to go on for another 4 years at least. I think I've done a good job. There's always some improvement there, but I've done the best to my knowledge, which believe me, it wasn't easy at first. It was a complete turnaround, especially for this council, because we were 7 new people on the council, so it made a difference. We had
or we could even say 7.5. Someone had been away for a long time.
Exactly.
But political experience.
But I think we did good. We did good, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but I sure like to continue for another 4 years. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you retain from this experience positively as a councillor?
Oh, everything is positive. I mean, there's no negative there. Sometimes there's been a couple of times where you think you'd throw the gloves, but no, you come back, you rest, you come back to another meeting, and things are fine. No, you can't, you've been elected there. You've got to hear what people have to say, and it's a great experience. It's a growing experience. It makes you grow. It makes you understand more your municipality, how it works, how it operates, where your taxes are from. It's a learning experience, and you keep learning every day. You get now you get magazines from Municipal World and all that. You read all that. You learn stuff. You go to conventions. You head to Toronto for a few days. Not easy. You come back, you're tired, you go to work, because of course I work full time like most of the people. I mean, I don't see myself having a young family right now doing that, because I think they lose their dad quite a few days a week. But in my position, it was quite okay, and I still get quite to spend time with my family. So it's fine. I can balance both worlds.
Okay. So how do you balance being the councillor for your ward and being a member of the council for the city? And how is that role interact with the members of council, the public, the people you represent? Because obviously they have needs. Sometimes they will call City Hall and ask for something. They're not happy with the answer they got, or they don't get an answer, so obviously they have to contact you. So how does that mix all intertwine, and because it's a complicated part of the puzzle.
Yeah, it is a complicated question also. Listen, we've been elected for sure by people in our ward, but I think number one, we work for the city of Clarence-Rockland. Of course, I'm always listening to people in my ward of what they want, what they foresee in the future. But then I always think of the global picture of the municipality where we need to do stuff. I'll take, for example, I brought to the table the first year that we would pave Poupard. It would serve going to Walmart, going to Rona, going to the 17. People from the southern part of the municipality always take Saint-Jean, and they would go around instead of taking the muddy road. So I think...
And make a big detour.
Oh yeah, of course. And now people from Moore's Village even use it. They just go up the hill and that's it. But, you always have to think ahead. And, a lot of people, some people told me, they said, you know what? How come they do everything in Rockland? Everything, you must have heard that before. Rockland's got everything. But you know what? If you look at the roads we pave,
right,
it might be 800 meters here in Rockland of a road.
Right.
When we do run,
it's
quite a few kilometers. Quite a few kilometers. So I mean, if we compare kilometer-wise, I think in the rural area we have quite a bit more of paving done.
For about the same price, because there aren't as many obstacles in the way for paving, and sometimes it needs to be repaired.
Yes, absolutely. But no, I think I've balanced both ward and city, and I think that's very important as a councillor. Because you're working, like I say, you're always working for the city of Clarence-Rockland.
Okay. Political platform. Do you have one, or are you relying on your experience and knowledge now of your writing, your award? Sorry.
Yeah. I don't have a platform such as say, but I am aware of the problems in our ward, which I plan to address, and like budget is only after elections. So how can somebody really, promise anything? I don't think that's going to happen with me. I'm just going to continue the good work we've been doing right now. If you look at all the infrastructures that we've done in Ward 7, the roads especially, and now with that big project, the looping from the water access, now, I remember, was it in the spring, we had to close a part of the water system for Hammond. That meant we had to close part of Clarence, Bourget, and Hammond.
Oh, yeah.
This is not going to happen anymore with that. Of course, we did have a huge grant for this because it was a little bit over $7 million for that looping. So we did get a grant for that, thank God, because it would never happen. But even on Russell Road, quite a few people will be able to hook up onto the system, which is needed because some of them have not very
good water.
No, absolutely not.
And therefore it's dangerous.
So that's the main thing, is to continue what we've started. On my part, especially in my ward, keep going, adding kilometers of pavings.
Does it make the removal of snow in winter easier if the road is paved, or not?
Absolutely. I mean, on our paved road, the trucks are going, so it's faster. They clean faster. On our dirt roads, well, it's the graders that do it. So it's a bit slower.
It's slower.
But I mean, I tend to compare ourselves to Ottawa. We're clean way before Ottawa is. And our budget is always over budget, but not as much as Ottawa is. I mean, it was just a thing this year, eh? But now I think the more kilometers we add, the cheaper it's going to get for maintenance.
Right.
First of all, for quite a few years after you've paved, there's no maintenance involved.
Right.
You know, okay, after we've used it quite a few years, we
And-
start to
and-
patch. And
Yeah, and when you're doing the treatment services, they're doing more on the rural
oh yeah,
roads.
yeah.
It won't last as long, and it's not made for heavy vehicles.
No, absolutely not. But another thing which people noticed, and they told me, how wide we're going now with our, even our little streets. We're going wide enough for a bicycle path, you know, and people enjoy it. A lot of people are bicycling now, and that's, I think that's a very important issue right now.
Okay. If you had one priority that you could accomplish in the next 4 years, just one, because, you know, we all know money is tight. There's more demands than there is money.
Yeah.
And you try, I can't remember if you just mentioned it in English or if it was in our French interview we did earlier. You're saying what you're aiming for is sort of a balance between what is done on the rural side versus what is done in Rockland, whose population is about the same,
Yeah,
roughly.
yeah.
So we know there's only so much money out of the pie for maintenance, for road infrastructure.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you had one priority, what would it be?
I don't think I have priorities, and I wouldn't want to have prioritize anything. I just want to continue with the good work we're doing right now. And one thing I think we have to work on as a group is accessibility. And especially in our schools, our older schools,
Okay.
accessibility is not easy. In our parks, we're working on a pilot project right now for a park
In Hammond.
in Hammond,
Yeah.
which will be just incredible if it goes goes through. It will be not only for handicapped people, but for older people, for they can walk.
For
I don't know.
sure.
I invite people to go and see what we've done right now with the path in the park, joining right to the new development.
Okay.
I think accessibility is going to be very important because I think our baby boomers are getting there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Are we?
Well, I'm sure I won't need it for 20 years, but still.
No, I think accessibility throughout our municipality.
Right.
We have a good committee working on that, and I think that will be prioritized. I think in the next few years.
Okay. And for a municipality, that's sort of the pilot project.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's done a lot by the volunteers.
Oh yes,
and
yes.
so-
Oh yeah, it was started by volunteers, and I never, praise enough the volunteers in our communities. They're doing so much for us, and we got to keep helping them and supporting them. So.
Okay. On that, we'll take a break. We'll come back and talk about the volunteers and how important they are to the municipality right after the break. So please remain with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back shortly. Thank you for having remained with us, ladies and gentlemen. We are continuing our discussion with Michel Levert, councillor and candidate for Ward 7. So Michel, just before the break, we were talking about volunteers, and you're saying we don't support them enough, we don't praise them enough. How important are they to the municipality, on the committees of the municipality, and on all the other things that are being done in this community?
Yeah. Well, volunteers are everywhere in our municipality. They're on our committees, and we have tons of committees with whether it be with even on planning, derogation. There's volunteers. They don't get paid. They don't even get paid mileage. I mean, they come here because they enjoy it. Accessibility. So many. All our social groups.
Right.
I mean, the money they do bring in to support the kids or elderly people. I mean,
And some have developed water parks and parks and all kinds of
infrastructures,
things.
helping with the infrastructures with this municipality, stuff that normally the municipality wouldn't be able to afford, such as that water park, like you're saying. We have three of them now in our municipality. So we have, our social groups have worked so hard to get that money together, and they keep going all the time. I go to breakfast or dinner, I get invites, and it's just, I keep being surprised at all the work we are. I plan this year to find out how many
Volunteers.
and have a party for the volunteers.
Yeah, they used to have an annual party where they would recognize one person from about each organization.
Yeah. Well, each organization still do that, but I mean, throughout the municipality, maybe have I don't know, when we have when everything is up for the Festival de la Rivière.
Yes.
All the big tents are there. Why not having one night extra just for volunteers? I can just imagine, even for that event, how many volunteers do we have?
Probably a whole lot.
Exactly. So we need them, and we got to keep them.
Recognize them and appreciate what they do. Appreciate.
You've got the right word there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Happy to hear that because it's important. In the services offered by the municipality, there's quite an array. However, if you had to say one or two are more important than other, could you identify that, or are they all as important, probably at different levels? But
yeah. Oh, they're all important. Sure, at one point you have to prioritize, a few of them, and this year we've worked very hard on the environment situation at our dump, because we only have one dump, and it's got to last quite a few years. So we've actually changed all the setup in our weighing. The chargers are changed. We've got a lot of adjustment to do. I know people have phoned me saying how slow it is now just to bring branches to the dump. But now I've talked to staff, and they're trying different things. I think things are working out now.
Okay.
More than the first weeks that we started weighing. People were there for 3 and 3.5 hours. It was awful. But stuff like that. So that's why we put all this budget into our landfill site, because if things go well, we should be able to keep that site for another 50 to 60 years.
And that keeps all of the garbage of the municipality in there. So before we used to have to go to Ottawa, and they're running out of space.
Yeah. Plus, our municipality does such a fine job of recycling also, whether it be metals, scrap metal, paint, wood. You go out there, we've got people out at the dump, and they're just like policemen. You got metal, that's where it goes. Don't you dare dump that there. They're gonna find out pretty soon.
They even collect electronics now.
Yeah. But it's nice for the municipality, because we do have a revenue from all that stuff. All the metal, we do sell it.
Right.
And it's better that way. It doesn't stay in the landfill site, first of all. It goes out of there. And the same thing with all the branches. We mulch them and we use them for fill. So, everything.
So it's not just, this just doesn't go on top of
No.
So when people, like here in Rockland, for example, they do separate the grass and clippings from the branches, and that, so they're all mulch and they're all reused.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think if you look at our health problem the years past, now we have a beautiful medical center, which hopefully we can add in a few years, where we should have some small operations or emergency center. That would be really good, because our population, at one point, I think Clarence Rockland was the fastest growing community in Eastern Ontario.
Yes.
And I think throughout all Ontario at one point.
For a while, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what attracted a lot of the
Exactly.
stores.
And of course, our wonderful 174. What can I say?
Yeah, one day.
I think we've talked enough about that one.
Well, maybe not enough, because nothing's happening. Okay, in the past 4 years, you've worked on a few committees.
Yep.
Okay. Do you still want to contribute to that committee, or would you like to widen your scope of knowledge? what is your what is your intent, or what is your interest in that regard?
Okay, well, for sure, I plan to stay on the planning committee and on dérogation. What's the English word for dérogation? Anyway, those two committees, of course, I've learned quite a bit in the last 4 years. So, I mean, I plan to stay there. Of course, you always want to learn something, learn more. But there's always time involved, eh?
Yeah.
You can be gone so many months,
it's like the budget.
so many nights.
It's like the budget, huh? There's only so much
exactly,
money.
Between your constituents and between your committees, so you got to balance that out. But no, like I was saying in the other interview, the arts and stuff like that. We do have a nice hall, the Optimist Hall, that I can't say we use it that much. The school uses it a lot. They use it as a CAF, I think.
Yes.
And a bit for theater, but the city itself, for what that thing has cost the city, I think we've got to try and manage this, even hiring somebody to try and bring big names. Our neighbors, Orleans, is not that far with the Shackman Center, and they're doing very well, and I think we could do the same. Hopefully we can try and do something with this beautiful center that we have.
Okay, so that would be and the planning committee, and you say you want to continue that. So how is that important? Why do you want to keep working on that committee, for example?
Because it's two of those. Planning committee. I mean, it reaches everywhere in the municipality, and also I'll take for example, we're going to kind of, how would you say, not refurbish, but try and make Laurier Street more attractive.
Okay, so give it a facelift?
Give it a facelift, and that's part of the committee also, the planning committee. We have such a wonderful staff in that committee too. They work really hard, they work long hours. We have 3 or 4 planners right now. And I mean, we've been so far lucky to keep all our staff too.
Okay.
And they know, they keep going with the committees. And they're always there also if you have questions. That's one thing. We have professionals and we have learning.
Oh, yeah.
So you always keep learning.
Always.
And the other committee, which is when you want to separate a lot, of course, we have so many people in the...
on the rural side?
On the rural side, and sometimes, it's farm, they want to separate a lot for their kids or whatever. Somebody's got 20 acres and they want to separate a lot so they can bring more cash in their pockets. That's to help them too, and that's a very long process, and most of the people don't do it themselves, but you can, and with the help of the municipality and the committee, the leaders, some people call me, how do I go about to separate a lot and stuff like that.
Yes.
So, with your knowledge, you try and at least point them in the right direction so it takes less time, because it takes at least 90 days, to get that going. And
Okay.
yeah.
So, tax increases. At the beginning of the term of this council, in year 1, there was a promise made by the mayor in his campaign that he would not have any tax increases for year 1. So do you think this is a good idea, or do you think we should have tax increases on an annual basis?
I think everybody would like to have no tax raise. I mean, the first year everybody was happy. Nobody got their taxes raised. So was I. But I've noticed in the next years, sometimes you have to pay for that.
Yeah.
And as long as we keep the taxes at the rate of inflation, I'd be really happy with that. I know it's even hard to keep it at the rate of inflation. But if we can keep at that, I'd be very happy, and I think most of the people would. I mean, people call me, and that's sometimes, even when you go to door, they pay so much tax. We pay more than Ottawa, a lot of people say, and all that. But after you've explained to them, you've got a percentage going to the United Counties of Prescott Russell. You've got a good percentage going to the schools.
Yes.
So what's left?
Yeah.
You got to work with that, and damn, you need it. You need it to operate the municipality. So, we do need the taxes. I mean, and of course, we need more commercial taxes.
Yep.
You know, our la parimé,
The balance.
the balance between both is not what it should be.
Right.
We should be more commercial. We're working to try and get a new commercial park because ours is full right now,
Right.
and we've got, you know, industries that want to move in, and we've got, you know, we
No
had
place
meetings.
for them to go presently.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And
So unfortunately, time is running,
Oh.
is going, is disappearing quickly, Michel.
okay.
So I would like to invite you to talk directly to the people of Ward 7 and tell them why they should support you. And naturally, people in Clarence Rockland are always interested into what their councillors have to say.
Well, I sure would like to keep going for another 4 years and serve all the people from Ward 7. I think people have starting to know me, those who didn't anyway, and continue what I've started at least. Now that I know most of the
Ins and outs.
and how the municipality works, I'd be really happy to continue. So I hope people will support me, and good luck also to all the candidates that are in the election. Hopefully that they will enjoy, whether you win or not, enjoy being
In the race.
in the race. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Michel.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so on that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thanking you for having been with us today in our discussion with Michel Levert, the councillor and candidate for Ward 7. And once again, I will repeat, target 65%. As I said before, only 43% of us voted in the last election, and for me, that is insufficient. We are a small community. We should all be rallying around something so important, and therefore I'm encouraging all of you to vote on voting day. Thank you, and I'm saying to you, à la prochaine.